First off, I gotta say that I think it was pretty fucking cool how Erza took charge, and honestly, as a guild master, she's already on the path to doing some good things. Like, saying basically, as guild master, I'm not letting the Fairy Tail Guild go through some BS again after especially the terror that they went through Tartarus. So I think while she separated herself from, I am guild master, but I'm also a member of Fairy Tail at the same time, and I need to do something about this. The way she made that decision showcased that she's immediately accepted the role, and she's utilizing her leadership skills to the best of her abilities. So while she's keeping most of the members out of it, because at the end of the day, she don't want to see Elfman go through the bullshit that he went through, the trauma and everything. She don't want to see a lot of them. So she's like, the people that are here right now that already are in the know, we're gonna go, fuck it. But the rest of them, I want them to be peaceful and not have to worry about this. So good leadership skills there. And finding out that Makarov hasn't been heard from in over a year, and with his plans of, recreating the Magic Council and everything being in effect, and him not knowing it, there's more than likely a big possibility he's either in captivity or even the worst case scenario, dead. Now, I still don't believe that. I don't know, Hiromashima, I don't see him killing off Makarov, because if he would have killed off Makarov, that would have happened back in, Tenro with Acnologia. So I'm still on the fence about Makarov dying at all, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, he is either two different situations. He's in a pickle, or he's in a pickle, or, he is a pickle. Okay, that was fucked up. Or there's always a third option. Somehow, some way they brainwashed him to basically follow them, because at the end of the day, finding out what we found out at the end of the chapter about that one member of the Four Saints going with them, there's a possibility that they're mind controlling him or something along the lines of that as well. And as a fan, honestly, I just got to throw this in there to hear that Team B of Fairy Tail is going to be taking part as well with Gajeel. He's going to get all the people that were part of that team. I think that's pretty cool as well. So, I mean, the way this threat has been built up, just having like 5 or 6 people isn't enough. We're going to need a decent amount of people to go in there, because it's like, how many fucking people, how many guilds in there? So, yeah, you're going to need all the manpower you can get. So, granted, we're not going to take some of the more weaker people, but getting Gajeel, Juvia, Kana, all these people to go, we're gonna have a nice cavalry. Also, I was wondering why they were like, oh, we don't know where Loxus is, and like Gajeel was like, yeah, we're gonna go find him or whatever. What is up with Loxus? Where the hell is he at? Is he training? Is he just like, what's going on with him? And I think the biggest thing about this chapter as well was seeing some of the saints. And I think the biggest thing about this chapter as well was seeing the 4 saints of Ishgar, getting to find out who they are and everything. Let's start off with the old dude. I thought it was sick how he was like, oh, some old guy, whatever, I don't give a fuck. And I was already thinking to myself, like, who the fuck cares about this dude? And then he goes into that beast mode when he's screaming at War, and I was like, yeah, this guy, I want to see him fight. I honestly want to see an all-out war break out where just the 4 saints have to get in and everything, because it looks like we're slowly but surely reaching the climax of Fairy Tail. And it's like, if we're going to see even the strongest of strongs, this motherfucker going into that beast mode, which he kind of looked a little bit of like Doriarte, that demon that they fought in the Sun Village arc. He kind of reminded me of that, so I don't know if maybe he has part demon in him or whatever, but I like that shit, because at the end of the day, I was like, oh, not another crusty old man, and then bam! And then we also got to see Hyberian, which he looks like he's trying to be Dracula or something, and we didn't really get much of him or see any of his abilities, but I'm hoping there's something sick to him. I mean, he was ranked 2 if I'm correct, which technically now he would be ranked number 1, because, the whole thing about Serena leaving, so I want to see more of him as well. And honestly, just getting to finally see them showcases that we're getting major progression towards the end. Now, God Serena, correct me if I'm wrong, but he looked very similar to one of the very first people that were in Fairy Tail. If you read a little bit of Fairy Tail Zero at the very least, you were introduced to him. He looked very similar to the guy that was with Mavis, and he kind of looks a little bit like Sting, and kind of now has facial hair like Gildarts. Seeing that, I'm like, what would make him go rogue? But then again, there was a couple people in Fairy Tail that have gone rogue in the past. I mean, that one dude that was, I believe, Makarov's predecessor, Hades. Seeing him go rogue, there's a possibility there's something more out there why these people do that. Now, I said there's a possibility of mind control. That's a very small possibility. More so, I think, it's something along the lines of why Hades left and why he's leaving. Maybe he just sees potential. He could be trying to invade them and stop them. I don't know. But that serious look that we saw in that panel at the end, I don't think he's on any good side. I think, honestly, he left for a particular reason, and he's like, fuck everything. And just, again, more setup with more threats. Now, granted, let's be real here. We know how Fairy Tail is. Even though there's so many of these people, only the top tier, like God, Serena, and maybe a few other people, like the 11 that were mentioned, the 11 others that are, capable of matching the Saints, which kind of got me a little bit concerned, because while granted, all of the Saints aren't the strongest, like Ward, for example, they picked them for other reasons, so yeah, it's not like they're completely, going to absolutely dominate or whatnot, but we got, like, Fairy Tail going in there, and I I'm a little skeptical. Like, Natsu, we've seen that he's gone to this whole other level, so we definitely, it's okay if he takes out some of these people, but like, especially the main dude, how are you going to handle this without us screaming bullshit when these are supposed to be the top of the tops? And let's be real here, while Fairy Tail has gotten stronger, these people are on a whole other level, so I'm a little bit skeptical about that, like the big threats that there's basically 12 people that match the strongest of strong of like Fiora and whatnot, but honestly, overall, again, a very good setup as far as just building up this threat and building up the betrayal and everything. And again, Airs is stepping up some good stuff there. I'm just a little concerned that Fairy Tail is going to steamroll these people that are supposed to be out of this world strong. Let's not get another Avatar in here. Fuck Avatar. Let's get some really good shit where Natsu has to fucking go bloody tooth and nail to win this shit. And with all that being said, honestly, I'd give this chapter anywhere from a 7.5 to an 8 yet again, because it was just really strong setup, finding out more about the Saints, Erza stepping up a little bit, and Fairy Tail getting ready to invade. Just some really strong stuff. But let me know what you guys think. Why do you think it is that God Serena betrayed them and went over to Alvarez? Is that the same guy from Fairy Tail Zero that was with Mavis back in the days? And if that's the case, that goes to show that Mavis is on a whole other level. If Lumen Histores got all of them scared that they're staying over there, that means that Mavis would even wax that motherfucker. And your overall thoughts of the chapter? Again, Fairy Tail is looking really promising right now. It's just always when it gets to the fights that I get skeptical, because we know how it goes. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.